We're good. Yo, what is up? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what's going on? Monday, July the 5th, 2021. As soon as I jump in here, John Kruger says, we just got Felix Hinton. Did that just happen? Did that just happen? Yes, it did. Yes, Felix Hinton just committed. Felix Hickson. Felix Hickson, defensive lineman, just pulled the trigger, which I guess I should have known that because he did say that he was announcing today at noon. So there we go. 3-star defensive lineman out of Jackson, Georgia. Give me 1 second, guys. We obviously need to post this. Felix Hickson out of Jackson, Georgia. Another pickup. And this one was one we kind of saw coming, right? This was one we did kind of see coming. This was one of the rumored silent welcome homes, if you will. So another good pickup, though. Another solid pickup for the Gamecocks. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. Yes, the Shane train continues to roll. The Shane train continues to roll here on a Monday, July the 5th, 2021. Hope you are all doing well. Todd Smith already with the super chat. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it. I see Rob Youngson, Brent Brooks, Travie, Brennan M., Owen Turner, Todd Smith, Phil, John Kruger. What's going on, guys? How we doing? AJ Bowers, what's up? Felix Hickson, 3-star defensive lineman out of Jackson, Georgia, did just commit to the Gamecocks, just made it official. Was one that had been rumored for a little bit, but he just made it official on his social media. So there you go. Starting off the day on a high note. Guys, before we get into everything, I see some of you calling in first. Let's get this out of the way. I want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. We got a lot to get into, but first things first, guys, the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. Now, both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And, guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just another line item. You're not just a number. You're a human being. You should be treated as such with that care, right? They're a small boutique law firm that, again, treats their clients like family. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number, guys. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take the insurance company on yourself. You've been involved in an accident. The last thing that you need to be worrying about is paperwork and dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of it for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Guys, Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today. In Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in the Somerville location, their Somerville location, 843-388-3368, or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Okay, let's get into it. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. If you did just call in and I missed it, my guy Skyland trying to call in, I apologize. Just trying to get this graphic up really, really quickly. Trying to get this graphic up on social media. So give me just 1 second. We got to get this posted to Instagram. But again, it's a great day to have a great day because Sal kind of just picked up another commitment. 3-star defensive lineman, Felix Hickson. And again, is he a 3-star? Is he a 4-star? Whatever. I guess it depends on what service you look at. But either way, on 247, he's a 3-star. Who gives a name? He's a good football player. Sal kind of picking up a big defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia as Shane Beamer continues to assemble the 2022 recruiting class. So, again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Was honestly unsure if we were going to have a show today or we're going to have any Daily Crows this week, might I add you. But you know what? I just can't stay away, guys. What can I say? I love talking to you guys too much. We'll get into that more in just a little bit. Here we go. Let's jump back to the phone lines, or let's jump to the phone line. Skyland calling in yet again. Yo, what's up, man? Oh, whoops. We better accept it first. Skyland, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good. What's up, buddy?
I'm just hanging out on a Monday, man. What's up?
I'm glad we got another one.
Yeah, Beamer just keeps on, man. I know you had obviously told me, and I think this was one of the guys that was pretty, the rumors were pretty strong in regards to this being one of the welcome homes. But yeah, no, I mean 6'3", 285, out of the state of Georgia. I mean, yeah, it's another solid pickup, man. You win in the line of scrimmage, and so you get a guy like that. Good pickup. So.
Next one, I'm not too certain on, but since we are going to be his last visit where he commits, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the one that's the one everybody's hoping for. That's for sure. That is the one everybody's hoping for. So we want Delp, man. We want. Hey, I'm doing my damn best to put out my recruiting pitch out there, man. So we all want Delp, but yeah, no, I mean it's we'll see what happens, man. He's a ways off from making a decision. So he's obviously got the Clemson cookout later this month. He's got our cookout later this month, and I don't think he's going to be a guy that makes it until mid to late August. I don't think he's in any type of rush or anything. But from what I've heard, man, it's going to really come down between us and Georgia. I mean, that's going off a pretty good word. So.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So.
But I want to explain to these fans how the star rating works. Sometimes, Chris. You know this. It doesn't go on how good you are. It doesn't go on how good you look during pads. It's more of the how much money your dad or mom puts into these camps. Because I've been to camps where kids with 2 or 3 stars outside the 5 stars, and they just they talk about the 5-star kids more because of the money the mom and dad spend.
Right.
And it's all about to me what happens under the lights. I don't care how good you are at camp. Look at Muschamp. Muschamp offered all these camp guys, and look how far he got. It's about how, when the lights come on, how good you are to me. I don't care about the stars. I don't care about the rating. I care about how good you are when the lights turn on. Because anybody can look good at camp.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I tend to agree with you, man. I mean, it's it's a crapshoot. I'll tell you this. I had somebody that I trust and know very well, and somebody who is, for lack of a better way of putting it, in the building at South Carolina, and what they talked about in recruiting and the strategy and everything else. When you look at recruiting, the top 100 guys are the top 100 guys, right? They're elite, and it's everybody's, and it's in a race to get as many of those guys as you can. But what makes the difference in recruiting, and, we talk about like talent evaluation and finding guys that are best fit for your program and all those different things. What makes the difference in recruiting is being able to identify the difference between the 250th best player in the country and the 600th best player. And because once you get outside the top 100 and you go between like 200 and 600, it's that's where the real money is made. That's where the real battles are fought. The low 4-star, high 3-star guys, and which those guys are gonna pan out, going to fit your program and all of that. So, I mean, again, it's a crapshoot when it comes to recruiting. I don't get too, like I said, man, people get so lost in the stars and caught up in, and I listen, I'm not saying that the stars don't matter. I mean, you look at the top programs and the blue chip ratio, and hey, I totally understand that, but if they're a good football player, they're a good football player. So that's really all I'm concerned with. And right now, I said it last week, and I said this exact same thing last week on Monday. Right now you just have to buy in and believe that Shane Beamer and his staff are master talent evaluators, and they are bringing guys in that are going to be best fits for South Carolina, and they're going to buy into the culture and buy into the system and buy into the scheme, and that they're going to be master talent developers as well. And so you look at a guy like a Felix Hickson. I mean, he's a 3-star player, whatever. I mean, I don't think that whatever. I mean, high-rated 3-star guy, but 6'3", 285, and you look at his offer list, and yeah, I mean, like I said, you just have to be. I think as a fan, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I think you'll just drive yourself crazy if if you get so lost in the stars, if you will. So,
of course, you don't get lost in the stars, fans. Even me and myself, you got to remember, Melvin Ingram, one of the greatest Gamecocks ever put on the uniform, was 3-star. I didn't have that many offers to go anywhere. Look where he's at now.
right. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, dude, the stars don't tell the whole story. But, again, like I said, when you're fighting for those top 100 guys and those immediate contributors, and, hey, when you get a guy like Jadeveon Clowney, that's why it's so important, and I think you'll see it this year. But that's why it's so important for guys like Jordan Burch and Zach Pickens and even Marshawn Lloyd, man. Listen, I'm not saying stars mean everything, but at South Carolina, you don't get enough 5-stars to miss on them. So when you get a 5-star, they better pan out. You know what I mean? So I think that's, that was such an unforgivable sin, in my opinion, with the last coaching staff, the last regime, is just you got guys like Jordan Burch and Pickens and some other big, even like guys like Luke Doty and DeCarrion Joyner, and you were getting these 4-star guys. You weren't even getting the most out of them. Or Trey Smith, Josh Vann, God forbid. I mean, it's just so. Again, you got to have both. Shane Beamer said that when he got hired. You got to be able to develop talent and identify talent. You also have to be able to recruit. You got to be able to get really, really good players because, hey, guess what, Skyline? I don't really give a damn, how bad I wanted it or how much I love Carolina. I don't have the skill set to go play quarterback in the SEC. I just don't have it. It doesn't matter how good of a developer Shane Beamer is. So you got to get guys with talent too, but it's got to be that perfect mix. So, and like I said, right now, you got to believe that, Shane Beamer and company, I do believe it, but you got to believe Shane Beamer and company, are going to be that coaching staff. But like I said before, what's more exciting to me is that the positive momentum Beamer has built on the recruiting trail. And I really do feel like at this point we are in conversations with some guys and have guys stepping foot on our campus that after a 2-8 year, which was following a 4-8 year, and a new coaching staff. I mean, there's, a guy like Oscar Delp. We have no business being in the conversation with him, but it just goes to show the momentum and the true culture change that Beamer's instilled. So you got to give all the credit in the world to him, man. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be a Gamecock right now. I mean, you're sitting, I think, top. I mean, I know the rankings will change a lot from now until December, the early signing period. But I mean, right now you sit in the top 20 in recruiting. I mean, who would have ever thought Carolina? I think most people would have just agreed, hey, if you can just crack a top 25 class with Shane Beamer's first full class, I think that's a huge success. And I think they're certainly on pace to do that. But that's a huge success, man, after everything the program's been through and, the job, the task that's at hand, if you will. You do that, man. You've succeeded, in my opinion. So, yeah, Beamer's, I mean, you can't say enough good things about the job Shane Beamer's doing right now. It's really, when you really step back and think about it, it's pretty incredible. So, but yeah.
I'm on vacation. I'm about to go deep sea fishing with my girlfriend's dad. I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Austin. I think it's Williamson that committed to South Carolina last night. Elite pitcher.
Yeah, right in the pitcher. Yeah.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah.
Got to develop him well, Chris.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, man, enjoy. Hey, catch something, man. Best of luck out there.
All righty. I see you about 2 months.
Yeah, no, hey, 61 days, man. It's getting here very close. Very close.
It's coming Saturday.
I told you, man, you're going to blink, and it's going to be SEC Media Days, and it's going to be fall camp. There's going to be kickoff. So,
yeah. Who do you think he's taking the SEC Media Days before I go?
Yeah, I'll probably – I was thinking about that. I'll probably write an article on that, kind of like predicting who he'll take probably next week because it's not for 2 weeks. But if I had to guess right now, the lead candidates would be – I mean, normally you like to take guys that are older or your leaders. I don't think he'll take a quarterback. Like, I don't think he'll take Luke Doty just because Doty's such a young guy. I could see, like, Nick Muse going. I think Muse would be a hell of a personality to bring to SEC Media Days. I could see Kevin Harris going for sure. I mean, the SEC's leading returning rusher. I think we should be doing everything in our power to promote Kevin Harris. I mean, we obviously know he doesn't get quite the love that we all think he deserves. So I think Kevin Harris should go, and then probably J.J. Nigbare on defense. I think from what I can tell, he's a pretty well-spoken kid. I mean, that's obviously that matters. You want guys that are going to be decent with the media and aren't afraid to be in front of the cameras and behind the mics and all that. So I think those would be 3 good ones. Maybe Parker White. Hell, he's a senior. I mean, I know it's kind of interesting practice to send a kicker, but why not? So
I mean,
do what?
Nothing, man. I just gotta go. I love you though.
All right, man. I'll hit you up.
All righty,
All right, appreciate you, Skyline. Thanks so much. Great stuff, guys. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. The phone lines are open here on a Monday, July the 5th, 2021. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I feel like I've been going 1,000 miles an hour since we went live with Felix Hickson committing. Felix Hickson committing to the Gamecocks, 3-star defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia. First things first, on a content update, I was unsure whether we were going to have the Daily Crow at all this week. Obviously, no podcasts, but what can I say, man? I couldn't stay away. Like I told you guys, I'm not just going to be at home and chill with the family. And, I have the hour a day to go live. Why not do it? I love doing this, so figured why not. Let's jump back to the phone lines here. They're going crazy on a Monday. Zachary, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, Chris. It's been a good 2 days for South Carolina in recruiting, getting two major guys on who will definitely help the defense whenever they come.
Yeah, no, dude, and we need big time players, man, especially on defense. And I thought before I've been really, really impressed with the job that Shane Beamer has done, kind of rebuilding and flipping the secondary with all the different guys he's gotten. But yeah, I mean, I like Hickson too, and yeah, man, it's been a fun last couple of days, last couple of weeks, and you hope it can keep going. But obviously, you get Emory Floyd, which is a big one. I guess that was 2 days ago. You get Emory Floyd, and today you get Felix Hickson, and you're just keeping that positive momentum rolling, man. So listen, where will South going to actually finish in recruiting? Are they going to be a top 15 class? Like, I don't know about all that, but I think you're certainly on pace to be a top 25 class. Which again, I think that who could argue that would be anything but a major, major success in Shane Beamer's first recruiting cycle. So.
Yeah, I don't remember if you I called earlier. I think like last week it was, but I told you like the fact that this is like he's doing this and he hasn't even coached the game.
Yeah,
it's just mind blowing. It's I don't think if you would have told me this would happen, I would have been like, I can see it, but you gotta give me some, gotta give me some more evidence because changing things around changing like culture and all that you kind of saw it. Like some people were kind of like done with Muschamp and right. Like the kind of energy he was putting out is like, and I would be like, and if you told me everything would be this like positive with Beamer, I would be like, well, the only way up, from where you were is like to get as much positive is not that hard,
Right. Yeah, the only way to go was up, right? No, I mean, dude, like you said, it's been crazy. I mean, it's been awesome. It's been the shot in the arm the fan base needed, the program needed, and I think you get people in the building that truly love where they're at and love what they're doing, and they really care about it, and they work their tails off, and they approach each day with a positive mindset, and again with a ferocious work ethic, and good things are going to happen, and you just keep approaching day after day after day, stacking good days on good days, as I've said before, and that's just kind of what Shane Beamer's doing, man. And I think he's got a vision, he's got a goal, he believes in South Carolina and what it can be. And again, like you said, he hasn't coached a single game yet, which is crazy. The amount of positive momentum they built without winning a football game. God forbid they go 7-5 this year. So you talk about the type of momentum for next, preseason and just the momentum overall with Carolina football, but haven't even coached a game yet and have built this type of momentum. So I will tell you, man, it's kind of funny. I think it does speak to just how beaten, battered, and bruised this fan base was that we are, and again, I'm not trying to take anything away. Obviously, I love the positive momentum. Trust me, I love it. But I think it does go to show just how bad things got in the previous regime. Like, think about it, man. This is the first time in, for a lot of people, 2 or 3 years where the lead storyline the entire preseason isn't about the head coach's job security. I mean, literally. So what a change of pace. It feels good to not have that being the lead topic. Trust me. I can tell you from my perspective, I mean, the last thing I would have wanted to talk about all preseason was, well, how many games does our coach have to win to keep his job? Like, that's not a positive headline, but it's, it was the reality for us the last couple of years. So, I think, again, this is a fan base that just so desperately needed something positive to talk about and something to feel good about, and kind of that proverbial hug, if you will, as a fan base. And again, Shane Beamer has absolutely crushed the honeymoon phase. Now, of course, in 61 days, they're going to have to play football, and you got to go through an SEC schedule, and we're going to hit adversity. We're going to lose games. Bottom line, it's going to happen, but how can you be anything but thrilled and excited for what Beamer has done to this point? I think what he's going to continue to do all preseason long. And, I'd expect him to go to SEC Media Days and crush it, make Gamecock fans feel giddy yet again at that point. And then we'll get into fall camp, and, hey, that's when the culture will be built, man, when the pads start popping. Because, you can say it in the preseason and you can do all this and that, but when the lights cut on, that's when that's when that culture's got to be instilled. I mean, I think it will be, but it's just going to be a hell of a ride, man. It certainly has been to this point, so.
Yeah. The last thing is, are there any more silent commitments, or are we pretty sure that he's it?
I think there might be one or two more. I'd have to check again. It's been keeping up with them all. I think there is another one though. I'm almost positive there's another one at least. I think there's at least one, maybe two. So
yeah, I was counting them down. Cause I realized one was Burberry, one was Sampson, and then I think there might be two. I think one is Felix Hickson.
Yeah,
and I think there's one now.
Yeah, I think there's one. So Wes Mitchell, actually, who works with Gamecock Central, he's done a really good job of keeping up with this. He was saying that Hickson is the welcome home from Wednesday, June the 23rd. So, yeah, I think there's one more. So, I don't think it's Oscar Delp like some people like to project. I mean, I'd love for it to be Oscar Delp, but I don't think it's Oscar Delp. But, yeah, man, we're all just kind of keeping up with Beamer at this point. We're all kind of keeping up with Beamer at this point. So, it's, it makes it the entertainment value right now is very, very high. But yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, I was counting along with them, and now that he's announced, it kind of like, okay, now who's left?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not 110% sure who the last one would be. Like I said, I need to get on that and kind of recount and check which guy it might be. But yeah, I mean, at this point, bro, who knows with Beamer? He's done a good job keeping things pretty tight to the vest, I feel like. So, but yeah. Who knows? It might be Nick James. It might be Nick James, the defensive lineman. I know he was supposed to commit, I believe, yesterday and pushed it back. So who knows? Might be that 4-star running back. I mean, you never know. You never know at this point. I have heard good things about the Nick James kid, though. So maybe it is him. Yeah, we just kind of have to wait and see. So.
Yeah, I was able to narrow one down from the Irmo kid.
Right.
And then I was able to narrow down the Burbaker. I was able to narrow those two down. And I was thinking one of them was Hicks. Yeah. I wasn't absolutely sure.
Yeah.
And Landon Sampson came out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, he did. Most certainly did.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, man, it's a fun time right now for sure. Shane Beamer is keeping us on our toes. That is without a doubt a fact. So.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate the call as always. Thanks so much.
All right.
All right, take care. Good stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. If I missed your call, I do apologize. Again, taking your questions, calls, comments on everything. Again, in case you missed it, Felix Hickson committing, making it official. Getting to the Gamecocks today at noon, the 3-star defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia. Guys, hey, hope you had a fantastic 4th, by the way. How was your weekend? Did everybody have a safe and productive July 4th? I know it was a really fun weekend for yours truly. Went out on the lake Friday and Saturday. Decided to come home and hang with the fam yesterday, watch fireworks. Had a really, really fun weekend. And I know there's a lot of people that are still on vacation this week. So if you are, hey, more power to you. Let's jump back to the phone lines here. Hey, Phil, what's going on, man? How are you?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's up?
I'm not going to spend too much of your time. I'm just kind of bored to tears with the recruiting stuff. I know it's really exciting, and it's incredible what Shane Beamer and staff are doing, trying to get these kids verbally committed. Key word here is verbal, guys. It's really impressive for sure, considering there's been no snaps taken and he's got so many kids verbally committed. But let's be realistic here, right? I mean, look at the way that recruiting goes the past, 10 years or so. These kids, let's say if we lose a game really bad, maybe it's a game that we're supposed to win, some of these kids are going to be like, I'm looking elsewhere. Right. That's just the bottom line. That's the way that it works. These kids aren't really loyal to anybody at this point. We have to wait until pen to paper takes place for us to, be cutting backflips and celebrating Shane Beamer as much as we are. It's cool. It's something to talk about for a little bit here in the off season or preseason, whatever you want to call it. But it means very little in the actuality and how this thing will go down in the next couple of years, because there's no pen to paper. There's no 100% commitment. It's just a verbal, acknowledgement that they're coming to us in the future, but it means nothing. And we know this, right? If we think about it, we've seen it happen over and over and over again. So it's cool, but at the same time, don't get your hopes up, guys. Don't put all these eggs in one basket because you'll be disappointed at the, by the time that signing day comes around.
No, listen, you're right. That's a very sobering look at it. Trust me. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, again, that's a fact. And, that's one of the reasons why, like I said, that's why I said last week that, as excited, I'm as excited as I am about each individual prospect and like projecting how they could help Carolina. I'm more so excited about the momentum overall that even extends beyond recruiting, because you're right. Because I mean, things can change, and it really doesn't mean anything until a guy puts pen to paper. It just doesn't. In this day and age where, you can just flip like that, and you're seeing people do that in the transfer portal and all that. I mean, it's all fine and dandy to get the verbal commitment, but until they sign on signing day, it kind of just is what it is, and we've seen guys flip. We've seen guys go back and forth, and that's not to knock any of the guys that are currently committed, but it's just the realities of recruiting. So, no, I mean, dude, I think, again, that's a very sobering look at it. And, but again, I think it goes back to Phil, which again, you and I can both laugh at this, and we can all laugh at this, is that just goes to show you how beaten, battered, and bruised this fan base was. That's really what I go back to. And I went on radio last week with Mark Ryan and ESPN Upstate, and he asked me, what is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, the worst, 10 being the best, what is the overall mood and morale of the fan base? And I just blurted out, dude, I was like, I think it's like a 15. And he was like, no way, come on. And I was like, well, realistically, it's probably an 8 or 9, but I'm like, dude, I mean, honestly, it's through the roof. And again, I said on those airways, I was like, I think it does kind of go to show, in a way, it's almost kind of sad, because it just goes to show how bad things were. Like, it felt like over the last couple of years, I mean, it even affected me. Like, I mean, I make content around it and everything else, but it felt like over the last specifically 2 years, every single storyline around South Carolina football had some sort of negative spin to it. It just felt like it. Like, everything was, there were not many people on the national stage or prognosticators or people that talk college football for a living, or even fans that I interact with. We interact on a daily basis. There weren't many people that were looking at South Carolina in that's a trending upward program. And this is there's a lot of positivity in the building and a lot of great things are happening. It was a lot of doubt, and it was a lot of negativity, and it was a lot of, you felt like we were just all waiting for the axe to drop. It wasn't about if, it was just when. So I think people, man, are just honestly clinging to the fact that, again, that's finally not the lead storyline anymore for their football programs. I mean, I get it. I mean, again, we're a fan base that so desperately needed and has needed and are enjoying this hypothetical hug, if you will, I think, from Shane Beamer. But no, listen, like I said, you give a very sobering look to it, and hey, there are a lot of guys out there that cover recruiting for a living on Rivals and 24/7 that probably wouldn't appreciate those comments from you, because, hey, I mean, and I've had this conversation with buddies. It's like and again, I respect the business model, because those sites have crushed. I mean, they continue to crush. But you think about it, man, like those sites, if we want to really even go beyond just college football and talk business, those sites, when they sell you a monthly subscription, they are selling you hope. That's what recruiting is.
Right.
That's what recruiting serves as, is that a guy like Felix Hickson, he could come in and be the next, the next Melvin Ingram. You know what I mean? Like that's what
Mm-hmm.
is sold on the recruiting trail, right? So, and I mean, you respect it for better or for worse. It is what it is. But no, long story short, I definitely hear what you're saying and don't totally disagree. I mean, that is the reality. Hey, think about it. 70%, I would say, would you argue 75% of the guys that you sign in recruiting, they don't even play. Isn't that wild? When you really think about it, I mean, a lot of the class doesn't even play. I mean, you need everybody, obviously, but no, trust me. There's two sides to it for sure. But again, it's one of those things where, man, we've been looking for some positivity and some optimism and some hope for so long. I think people are, kind of just, like I said, all aboard the Shane train, man, and just clinging to every piece of positive news that's out there. So, but like I said, you have a good point. You have a good point.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing to be a Carolina fan in the summer and have so much hope, right? And Shane Beamer's giving us a lot.
Eternal optimism, man.
But like I said, it's that eternal optimism. You have to have it, otherwise you're going to drive yourself crazy as a Carolina fan. But don't get your hopes up too much. That's all I'm saying to the fan base, because again, you're going to get yourself hurt.
Right.
With these kids that haven't put pen to paper yet. So.
Yeah.
It's cool, but everybody, pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, be happy with it. Take it with a grain of salt. Keep going. Whatever is what it is. All we got's all we need. We'll take the 25 that want to sign with us. So whatever. It's all good.
Amen. Have a good one, man.
Yeah, man. You too. Appreciate it, Phil. Phone lines are hot on a Monday. Phone lines are scorching hot on a Monday. I haven't even really gotten to the questions. I apologize, guys. Todd Smith says the Shane train's picking up speed. Justin Langford, what's up, man? He says competition breeds competition. I agree. Yeah, Brayson Haney. What positions do you think we need to cover in this recruiting class with the spaces remaining? I think getting DBs is always great. I think offensive line is done. I think getting playmakers on the outside at wide receiver would be nice. Probably take a running back or two. I don't think we have a running back committed right now, right? I think getting a running back would be great. I think just continuing to stack guys defensively, though, man. I think that's where you most need them, to be totally honest with you. So, and I think that's why you've seen South kind of make it such a focus to get these guys in the secondary, even linebackers and stuff like that, athletes on the defensive side. Brack, what's going on? Again, I apologize, guys. I'm just now getting to the questions. We've had a couple of calls back-to-back, so and I appreciate the calls, by the way. I appreciate the calls. Keith, mom is doing well. My brother's at Basic. We actually haven't heard from him. I've been writing him letters. I need to write him one today, just kind of update him on what's going on. But yeah, mom's doing well. As you guys can see, again, I'm back home, and you guys already knew from tuning in last week to the Daily Crow. No podcast this week, in case you might have missed it. No podcast this week. So this week has been planned for months, by the way. This is going to be like an off week for me, take time off, kind of detach, whatever. And I'm certainly at home doing that and able to relax. But, as I told you guys last week, man, my plans to go out of town got sort of shot a few weeks ago, and which is totally fine, is what it is. And able to spend some time at home with the family and help out my mom and help out around the house and stuff like that. But, I'm not the type to just sit around and do nothing for the sake of doing it. So, we will continue to do the Daily Crow through this week. May not do it Thursday or Friday. I think my dad and I are trying to play golf this week, maybe. So if we do that, obviously no Daily Crow that day, but we're going to continue to post out content on social media. Pretty much a normal week without the podcast. Now, with that being said, there's going to be a lot of stuff worked on this week for the business side of things. As you see my hat, there's going to be a lot of other side projects worked on projects in general for the business, for the content, because we are gearing up, because starting next Monday, the business, the content, everything is really going to hit turbo on my side of things. Because Monday, Thursday of next week, again, of course, the podcast will return, the special guests will return, all that good stuff. And we are breaking down the Gamecocks 2021 football season, as I'm officially, next week, locking in my game-by-game predictions for the 2021 football season. I'll talk about everything. Key game of the season, key 3-game stretch. We'll talk about wins, toss-ups, and losses. And again, I will go through and break down each and every single game with scores, picks, all that good stuff. So you guys, in a week and a half, we'll say, after Thursday of next week, you will know my official season predictions for Shane Beamer's first season at Carolina. Also, again, you see the hat. It's a movement, folks. Big Cock Club will be happening. We will be rolling out everything this week. I'm very, very excited. Again, I know I talked about it a lot last week. I'm going to decide on a date tonight. Just getting everything put together, make sure everything is exactly how we want it. But I will be picking out a date. I think we're either going to roll it out. It's either going to be Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It's going to be one of those 3 days. Maybe Wednesday, but I've got some merch I kind of want to roll out. New merch. You guys saw the koozies. I think we're going to get the koozies rolled out Wednesday of this week. So, again, just stay tuned for that. But at the latest Friday, because I want to have the Big Cock Club stuff in place for the shows next week. Because, again, for the people that are members, that are part of the Big Cock Club Discord that we're going to have, there's obviously going to be a lot of conversation around that. And, of course, I would think, at least to myself, that we should have some very, very big audiences on the Daily Crow next week as you guys jump on and debate and give your predictions and all that good stuff. One of the perks, guys, of the Big Cock Club and the Big Cock Club Discord, by the way, is, of course, a lot of questions coming, and we're expecting a lot of questions to roll in as we get get closer and closer to kickoff. Well, one of the channels on our Discord is the Daily Crow questions. And for those who are members of the Big Cock Club, those questions will be first priority. So those will be the ones that'll be answered. Those will be the ones first, and then we'll go through the feed and stuff like that. So again, it's not to, it's just to, hey, if you're going to be part of the Big Cock Club, if you're going to be a member of this movement, if you're going to partake in this entity, you should be rewarded as such. And there are going to be perks to that, of course, as you guys, I'm sure, can understand and totally get down with that. But again, a lot of exciting stuff. I'm really just finishing up things in regards to getting everything finalized, getting all the details worked out. But I'm just, as I said last week, man, I'm really excited because we have finally reached a point where, number one, there is a demand for said content. There's a demand for premium content, for something beyond just the normal day-to-day, what we do on social media, what we do with the podcast and the live stream and stuff like that. And I'm very excited to say now I finally feel very, very confident and feel like we have the ability to produce said premium content, to produce that behind-the-scenes feeling, to produce content that is an exclusive offering, an exclusive Gamecock community that will go far beyond just the normal day-to-day, what you see in regards to content we produce on social media, the podcast, live streams, all that good stuff. So, again, really, really excited, guys. Again, that'll be coming later this week. The Big Cock Club will be rolled out by latest Friday. Like I said, I'm going to try to pick a date by the end of tonight and post a graphic, and we're going to really hype this thing up and get this thing going. So let's get back to the questions. AJ Bowers, top positions we need right now, DBs, O-line, and wide receivers. Yes, agree 110%. Let's go back here. Let's go back here and look at some of the questions I might have missed. AJ Bowers, when do you think we crack the top 10 in recruiting? I don't know, man. I don't think it'll be this year. Are you talking – see, I'm not thinking just top 10 like, oh, we're just there for a second, like we're just having a cup of coffee in the top 10. I'm thinking, when do we have a top 10 class, like a final finish of a top 10 class? I don't think it'll be this year. I don't know that it'll be next year. You think about it, man, South Carolina's only had one top 10 class in the history of their school, and it was 2007 under Steve Spurrier. So I think we got to let Shane Beamer build, man. I think you got to let Shane Beamer build, because to get to that level, to get to the point where you're in the top 10 in recruiting, you got to be winning games. Bottom line, kids that are that high level, these 5-star guys, the 5-star guys want to go where they have the opportunity to win a championship, to at least compete for a championship realistically in the time window they're going to be on campus. No 5-star wants to go to a program where they're going to lose, right? Why would you want to do that? Why would an elite player want to put themselves through that? So you got to win some ball games. You got to generate – hey, you've done a great job generating momentum off the field. In recruiting, you've got to find a way now to generate momentum on the field. Go win a couple you're not supposed to. Win the ones you're supposed to. Go to a bowl game. Go win a bowl game. Do things like that. And I think you'll see South Gunn kind of get close to that point. Rob Youngson, Beamer won't let you rest. LOL, ready for the Big Cock Club to start. I'm ready for it too, man. Like I said, there's no podcast this week, but still, a lot going on, man. It's basically, proceed as normal. I'm going to take some time this week to read a little bit more probably and, try to quote unquote detach, if you will. But we're still rocking and rolling, man. What are you talking about? We're still rocking and rolling. Just no podcast this week, man. It really just lined up and made sense. I wasn't sure that I was even going to be in town this week, but I am. And like I said, you guys, I thought about it last night. I was like, Chris, you could, you could take the week off. You got every excuse to do it. This is going to be the only week you could really do so. But I love to do what I do, man. I love talking with you guys, and I love talking Gamecocks. And again, Shane Beamer keeps going. Why would we not keep going? So again, I'm actually working for stuff also kind of revamping and giving the Daily Crow a little bit of a facelift. I know you guys obviously don't mind the setup we have with the graphics and the number down there and stuff like that, but there are some things, I like to keep it fresh. So I'm also working on some things in regards to giving the Daily Crow and the graphics and this content a little bit of a facelift, and all the content we make a little bit of a facelift. So, hey, things are growing, things are evolving, things are getting better, man. We're trying to get 1% better each and every single day. And, hey, that's how, as a human being in life, people say, oh, I'm burnt out. Well, it's because you stopped learning. You stopped growing. You stopped evolving. Never stop learning, man. Like I said last week, never stop learning, never stop trying to get better. And that's what, obviously, I try to continue to do for you guys and the content, the initiatives we're rocking with and rolling with and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come. I mean, I really, I was talking to my buddy on the boat this weekend, a really good buddy of mine. He's a huge Carolina fan, and there were a couple of guys out there, big Carolina fans. And, I was just telling him, man, I'll tell you guys, I'm really, really excited for this Big Cock Club initiative. I know it's as funny as the name might be, and some people might look at it and think, oh, man, it's a joke. I'm really, really fired up that, number one, there's a demand for it, and number two, we finally have the ability to provide an experience to Gamecock fans and supporters of the Spurs Up Show and supporters of the Daily Crow that goes beyond just the normal content offerings that we put out there. And again, all the content you guys know and love, it's going to continue to be free. We're not charging for content. I'm not putting anything. The only thing that is going to go behind the Big Cock Club, that's going to be in that suite of services or that suite of content offerings, if you will, is the Behind the Beak vlog. Now, I say that there's still going to be vlog content put out that's not behind the Big Cock Club, is part of that content, if you will. But like the business stuff, that type of stuff, I think that's something anyways that people that are going to be members of the Big Cock Club, that's the ones who are consuming that content anyways. That's the people that appreciate and enjoy that content. So that's why, to me, it made sense to do that. But really excited, guys. I mean, I think this is something what I'm most excited for too. I think it's something we're gonna grow and evolve, and it's gonna get better. It's gonna develop and it's gonna evolve. So I'm excited, man. I'm really, really fired up, man. I really am. Let's see. Roy Gwynn, who is the last silent recruit? I think that's the big question. I don't know. I don't necessarily know right now. Could it be Nick James? Could it be the 4-star running back? I'm not 110% sure, to be honest. I will do my best to text my guys. But I'm not 110% sure right now. James Kendall says, wife has given permission to join Big Cock Club. Good to go, Chris. Great. I love that. Elizabeth Ballard, did you decide price or will that roll out when you do the graphics? So I'm 99.9% sure of what it's going to be, but I want to wait. I want to wait to announce all that stuff until we actually roll out and it's live and we're good to go. I can tell you this, though, guys. The price point that I'm thinking that it's going to be is beyond reasonable for all of the content offerings and to be part of this exclusive community and this exclusive club, because that's how I'm viewing it. It is an exclusive thing. It is, the only way you can get this hat or the only way you can get the merch is if you're part of the Big Cock Club. Bottom line, you know what I mean? It's not going to be something that's going to be out there for everybody. This is going to be an exclusive, again, beyond just the normal offerings of content, of merch, of live streams, of everything, of Q&As, whatever it might be. So, but I can tell you that the price point is going to be extremely fair for everything that we're going to be rolling out. I can promise you guys that. I'm really, guys, again, I'm not doing this because it's, oh man, like we need to, which we need to create another stream of income, or we need to get more money out of that. That's not why I'm doing it. Actually, that's not why I'm doing it. But when it is an exclusive thing, I mean, you put a price point on it. So again, I know a lot of people reach out to me and ask Chris, how can we support the business? How can we donate? How can we do this, do that? Well, here's an opportunity. You know what I mean? Here's an opportunity for people. And again, it's not like, people, when they pay for something, they want to receive something in return. I feel like that's a no-brainer. I made sure, like I said, that people are going to be getting the most bang for their buck. The most bang for their buck. So again, it's going to be something really, really cool, man. It's going to be something really, really cool, and you guys are along for the journey. And again, I truly do appreciate it. I really, truly do appreciate it. Tim Dorn says, I think you should have different tiers of Big Cock Club. Tim, that is a great point, and that is something that will be coming soon. I don't know if that's going to be included in the rollout, But there will be different tiers. There will be different tiers. At some point, there will. But, Tim, I think that's a great point, a great idea. Joshua Jenkins, who's going to be better, our offense or our defense? You ask, what is going to be the strength of our football team in 2021? That's a great – I think you have to say right now offense. I just think there are so many questions defensively, and I know you've added Prunty, and I know you've added, different defensive backs in the transfer portal, Marcellus Dial and the Tyrese Ross kid from Washington State. And, you feel good about some of the talent you have in the back, and you feel great about your front seven, right? You feel great about your defensive line. But if I had to, what's going to be the strength of this team? I think more often than not, you're going to have to win games 34-28. I mean, you're just not going to win games 17-10. I mean, you're not going to do it. So I think the defense still has some issues. I do still right now tend to think the secondary is going to be a weakness. It is going to be a bit of a sore spot until we see otherwise, until we see that it's figured out in the back. And, depth's still an issue. And it's a lot of guys that have talent but are unproven. I think you have more answers offensively. Again, I know there's question marks abound on offense as well. And, of course, it starts with Luke Doty. But when you have Kevin Harris and you have Marshawn Lloyd and you have Zaquandre White and you have Rashad Amos and you have those guys to build your offense around, and you have 4 or 5 starters returning on your offensive line, I think that's a pretty good place to start. So I think that, if you had to pick one or the other, I think offense will be the strength of this team, believe it or not. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Kimbo Black, do you think Ortre Smith will be one of the starting wide receivers? Dude showed a lot of promise as a freshman. Is he healthy? That's the key to it all. Is he healthy? That's it. Is he healthy? If he's healthy, there's a chance. There's a chance he could be one of those starting guys. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, until I see Ortre Smith healthy, until I see him go out there and prove he's 100% ready to go and he's healthy, I am not putting any more stock in Ortre. I've sold all my Ortre Smith stock, guys. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal to him, but being healthy is part of being a good athlete. And I know he's had some stuff that's been crazy circumstance and stuff he was born with and things he can't really help. But again, being healthy is part of being a great athlete and part of being a great football player. And if you cannot stay healthy and stay on the field, you're of no good. You're no good to us. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. You're no good to us. So I think right now, your starting wide receivers, we're going to go in a 3 wide receiver set. Or we could say, what's starting 5? I think your starting wide receivers right now, Amarian Brown, Dak Joyner, Jalen Brooks. Now, this is assuming E.J. Jenkins is listed as a tight end, because if he's not, of course, E.J. is going to be in there. Jalen Brooks, I think Rico Powers, and the 5th, again, you have a lot of guys, but who's going to step up? Is it going to be Xavier Legette? Is it going to be Josh Vann? Is it going to be Jakari Caldwell? Is it going to be Mike Wyman? I don't know. Is it going to be Omega Blake? God forbid. I don't know. So, again, you got a lot of guys. You got to find some dudes. Bottom line. Got to find some dudes. Got to find some legit contributors. Savannah Webster, can I trade women's basketball knowledge for a BCC? Well, hey, we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch for sure. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377, guys. I appreciate you all tuning in, man. Like I said, the plan was this week to, when I first looked at the week, I have a full spreadsheet with my calendar broken down and everything. The plan was to just take this week completely off. No Daily Crow, no podcast. But again, guys, as you can see, I'm back on the home front, helping out with family, helping out my mom. And she understands. And I told my family, I was like, hey, next week I'm hitting the gas pedal. I'm going to need to be at the studio. We got a lot of content rolling, lots of content rolling. So back at home, helping out as much as I can, obviously. But, again, I was just sitting there last night and this morning, and I was like, dude, am I really just going to, am I not going to do the Daily Crow just for the sake of not doing it? I mean, that's what I'd be doing. There's no excuse. There's no reason. I have the hour. And honestly, guys, if it weren't for as awesome as y'all are and how much I enjoy, honestly, this banter and talking with you all and taking your questions and all that great stuff, I probably wouldn't have done it. So it speaks to, guys, again, how much I enjoy and appreciate you all and how much I love chatting with you. And again, I say this, I've said it many times, but I'll say it again, man. I wake up every single morning with gratitude, with with joy in my heart because you know what? It's July the 5th, man. It's the day after July 4th. People are hungover. They're on vacation. They could be doing whatever. You guys could be doing whatever, and you still choose to tune in and be interactive and be engaging. And for that, I can't thank you all enough, man. It's incredible. Truly. I truly, I truly do appreciate it. And that's another thing with the Big Cock Club, man. I truly appreciate you guys, and I'm excited to inject and put out even more value out there. Like that is my number one goal when I make content and do content. It's all about the end consumer. It's all about you guys putting more value out there, making the experience even more enjoyable, even more interactive, even more engaging, even more fun for you guys. So again, I truly appreciate it. And I'm really, really excited with some of the things, with a lot of the things, with all the things we've got in the works right now. And yeah, man, like I said, it's a little bit, I guess it's a little bit slower of a week this week because, recruiting's in a dead period. And I know we just got a commitment today, but realistically, there's really not a lot going on this week. But starting, I'm very pumped for next week, man. I'm very pumped for next week. I'll probably put out the question box either Friday or Saturday for sure. Saturday, obviously, the latest. But, I'm going to be giving my official predictions and everything else, breaking down the 2021 season. And I want you guys to be involved, man. I want you guys to give me your predictions. And, heck, I've even got it in my laptop bag or I've got the helmet schedule printed out. I'm going to sit down sometime this week. I'm literally just going to go through and give my predictions for the entire SEC. You know what I mean? The entire SEC, who I think is going to win the SEC East and the records. I mean, everything. So a lot of exciting stuff, man. A lot of exciting stuff happening. Brian Dean, yes, Phil Steele says we could be a surprise team. I'm actually chatting with Phil Thursday. So Phil Steele will be a guest on the show this week, which that interview, of course, will drop next week. But, I have his magazine, and I actually bought the digital version, but I have his magazine either way. And, saw that comment this morning and was like, hey, let's post some content about it. So, yeah, Phil Steele, I don't know if he doesn't have an official record prediction for South Carolina, but, he seems to feel kind of, I guess, how we do. Pretty good about this season overall. So, I will tell you this. Before I even go into next week, I can tell you this. I think Gamecocks football is going to fall somewhere in the 5-7 to 7-5 range. If I had to guess, again, I will make my official. I have not made official predictions yet, by the way. I have not sat down and gone through yet. Again, that's something I'm going to be doing later this week. But that feels about right for this team. That's why, to me, the over-under in Vegas, which is 3.5, is just so crazy. Like, what it says to me, Vegas has to be expecting South Carolina to lose one of its non-conference games that's not Clemson. I mean, do they think the Gamecocks are going to lose to Troy? Do they think the Gamecocks are going to lose to ECU? Because that's the only way South Carolina's losing. If South Carolina goes 3-9 or worse, and again, that is, I think 4-8's worst case probably. I mean, that number in Vegas is truly mind-blowing. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not sitting here telling you South Carolina. I think saying they're going to go 8-4 is way too overambitious. It's way too aggressive. And just in my opinion, again, best case scenario, could it happen? Sure, if everything breaks the way we want it to. But, I mean, realistically, man, we're going to hit adversity, and that's probably not what's going to happen. But, man, that 3.5 total just that blows my mind. That blows my mind. Leonard Matthews, you just can't stay away. I can't. I love it, man. I love it. And I appreciate you all, man. I know you guys are enjoy it as well. So hey, I didn't want to be that guy that was like, oh, I'm just gonna go missing for the week. But hey, we're even giving the Daily Crow a facelift, man. Some of the graphics and stuff like that. And I really want to make a logo for the Daily Crow. So a lot of fun stuff, man. A lot of exciting stuff happening this week. J2469 on Twitch, which, by the way, shout out my Twitch folks, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Says, hey, man, I seriously enjoy every bit of it, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you tuning in each and every single day, man. I appreciate that. Phil Harris says, Dynasty this week. So, quick update on the Dynasty, Phil. Great question. And I asked you guys, and I got your feedback, and this is how we're going to roll with it. So, I actually downloaded the latest college football revamp version 13, which dropped yesterday, by the way. Very good stuff. But I have the 2021 Dynasty file downloaded and updated already to my PlayStation, right? Which means when we go play Dynasty, we are actually going to play South Carolina's 2021 season as is scheduled, right? It's not going to be like the 2013 schedule. You know how the Dynasty was kind of random before we were playing like at Auburn, and, you know, the games they were just out of order, right? Whatever. Here's the new plan, right? We've been playing Dynasty. It's been great. I think it's been a great I don't want to say test run, but it's been great doing these and having you guys tune in and sort of experimenting. That's the best way to put it. Experimenting with everything. So here's the plan. Starting next week, not this week because I'm home all week. And as you guys, I didn't even bring my PlayStation, but the Wi-Fi connection here is just not good enough to warrant doing them here, right? I'm all about the quality, and if the quality is not good, we're not going to do it. Like I said, this is kind of why I'm saying too, again, business content, everything is hitting turbo drive starting next week. Because starting next week, not only are we giving our game-by-game season predictions, not only are we have some other fun things lined up, also the 2021 Dynasty. The Dynasty stream will return, but it's not going to be what we were doing before. We are actually going to play the 2021 Dynasty. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to play it on Heisman. Now, if you ever played NCAA, you understand how hard Heisman is. But you know what? We want to make it as realistic as possible. I'm going to lose some games. I'm going to win some games. It is what it is. We're going to play it on Heisman. I'm going to play each and every single game. What we're probably going to do, what we're definitely going to do, I'm not even going to say probably, we're definitely going to do, I'm going to figure out the times, by the way, but I'm thinking we're going to play 3 games a week, right? Because we're going to do it for the next 4 weeks. This is how it's going to go. We're going to do the 2021 Dynasty where we play it for the next 4 weeks, 3 games a week. And then after that, we've got another 4 weeks till kickoff, right? We got another something like that. It kind of lines up that way. We got like another 4 weeks. And that's when we're going to start the TSUS season simulation series, where we're going to sit there and watch the game and watch the season simulate. So right now I'm thinking, it's going to be some combination of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. I'm thinking we'll probably go live at 7 o'clock. 9 is kind of late. 9's kind of late. I totally understand that. And I would love to get feedback from you guys. Do you like it later? Would you like it earlier? Heck, I know that when, I don't model everything I do off of Barstool, but I know that, obviously Big Cat and Barstool, when they did that last year, it was very popular. They were doing some in the morning. So I'm down to do it whenever. I think late afternoon makes most sense, but would also love to hear the feedback from you guys, what you guys are thinking in regards to the Dynasty streams, the NCAA football content. But that content is going nowhere. That content is coming back, and it's coming back even more so in full force. So very, very excited. Elizabeth Ballard says 8 is good. Brandon M says later. Okay. So, yeah, I have no issues doing – I think 9 was just a little late. That was a little late. So maybe we'll split the difference and go 8 o'clock. Maybe we'll split the difference. Because here's the thing, and I'm probably just going to play 1 game per night, because playing 2 games, guys, it takes an hour to play a game. And, it's like, man, maybe there will be some nights where we play 2. I'm thinking 1, though. That kind of makes sense to me. I think that makes sense, especially when we're doing the season simulation series, because I want it to be a thing where people can actually tune in and like, hey, here's the simulation of Eastern Illinois. Here's the simulation of ECU. Here's the simulation of Georgia. And you just kind of like keep going. You know what I mean? So I don't want it to be where they're like coupled up together. I think each game should have their own video. So that's an update on that, man. Again, a lot of stuff is rolling. I really need to sit down and put together a to-do list today. I'm actually going to do that because there's so many things we're going to have to. By the way, guys, I know this show today flew by, which, hey, time flies when you're having fun. And I appreciate you all tuning in, man. Thank you all so much, like I said, for the love and support, man. It's incredible. Like I said, I couldn't stay away. Big Cock Club coming this week. And a quick reminder, by the way, shout out to my guys over at the Sports Objective. I posted about this a little bit earlier on social media, but my guys who run a show called the Sports Objective, which is an East Carolina Pirates show. I will be joining them tonight live at 8 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I actually posted the YouTube link, but it's going to be on their platform. So I'm going to be joining them at 8 o'clock tonight. We are going to talk Shane Beamer, the 2021 season as a whole. And then, of course, we are going to break down the South Carolina-East Carolina game in week 2, which, guys, if you've listened to anything I've said this year, anything I've said over the last couple months about this season, you know how important, how pivotal, how big I think that game in Greenville is going to be in week 2 for Shane Beamer's first season. So should be a lot of fun, guys. Be sure to tune in to that. Hey, Daily Crow rolling live all week long. Again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Hope you all had a fantastic 4th. Hope you had a great Monday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Take care, guys.